I know I just said I'm going to be taking a break from videos for a while, but this is important, okay? It's Capcom. I wonder if they're going to have the Clover Studios. No, they probably won't. That's such a bummer. Every re-release of this game, the Clover Studios logo has been cut out. Man!
Clover.
I feel like that's kind of like a revisionist history. It almost feels like that they cut the Clover Studios logo. That was a great logo too. I might splice it in here. Because I'm gonna just skip this because we're gonna have to look at it again in like 2 seconds. So I have been on record more than once making this statement that Okami is the best looking video game that has ever been made. And I stand by it. Okami is the best looking video game that has ever been made. Exhibit A. Nothing has ever looked better than this. Nothing has looked better than this since it has come out. Nothing tops it. Most beautiful, amazing, vibrant, spectacular, visual feast for the fucking eyes game that has ever been made. And they finally re-released it again for the fourth time on PS4, which is really great because a game like this, it feels like, oh man, why has this not been put into HD fucking yesterday? They released it on PS3, and that was a big deal. Look, you can even decide which aspect. Why would that be off by default? Fuck you, putting that off by default. I don't understand the argument of you gotta play it in its original aspect ratio. You're full of shit. Suck my dick. I have never understood that argument. Fill up the screen. Like, I don't care what it's supposed to look like. I don't care if, like, the sprites have been stretched out. Fill up the screen. The fact that there's negative space on the screen fucks with me way more. What did that say? Fan menu? Oh, cause, like the inventory screen. Okay. Okami. This game is fucking amazing. Like, visual feast for the best looking game ever made. Also, really fucking great video game. Like, everything that it has going on in there. Yeah, Kamiya! Our boy, our Star Foxy boy. I still made, his name wasn't in the credits. I've watched them multiple times, but I still think he probably had some hands-on in, on Star Fox Zero to some degree. It would feel like a criminal missed opportunity if he did not. He probably just asked to be uncredited because people would have fucking annoyed the shit out of him if they had seen his name in the credits. Would have gotten, like, just an unreasonable amount of negative attention. So I totally understand, but I still feel convinced that he put hands on that game at some point. So I mentioned Clover Studios, and you just saw the name Hideki Kamiya. This game was made by Platinum. They weren't known as Platinum at the time, of course. This is really wordy right at the beginning. It's good reading. I'm kind of going through it just because, like, I'm sorry, I've read this so many times. It's really good, but I kind of just don't really have an interest in reading it again. It's not like it's gonna change ever. It's actually worth pausing the video to go ahead and read it, but I am gonna kind of just be blitzing through these dialogue because this game is, like, really fucking exposition heavy right out the gate. Yeah, let's see. There was the original PS2 release, then they re-released it on the Wii, and that version was garbage, by the way. For the same reason that the Wii re-release of Resident Evil 4 was terrible, motion controls just ruined the balance. The game was not designed with motion controls in mind, so it ruins the game. It makes it too easy. And also, they took a lot of weird shit out. And then the Wii version was the version that they put on the PS3. They just took out the motion controls, but the HD PS3 version is the Wii version, because it doesn't have the fucking minigame, and it had a lot of weird shit cut out. But I think this version, the one they put on the PS4, is the original PS2 version. It has the original aspect ratio, it has the loading screen minigames. I don't know why those are off by default, by the way, that's really offensive. And I'm pretty sure it adds all the shit that the Wii version took out back in. Which is really nifty, because it speaks to the fact that Capcom is starting to turn around a little bit in recent times. That's a really cool thing. Capcom was in the fucking dark ages for a long time there, but I feel like in the last, since 2015, Capcom started to turn it around again, which is really nice to see. And unfortunately, Capcom's decline into the Dark Ages kind of got started around the time this game came out. Not because of this game, but it was a confluence of events that turned out to be really unfortunate, because like I said, this game was made by Platinum before they were Platinum. See, before Platinum Games was Platinum Games, they were a bunch of Capcom devs. I'm sure since then, they've hired a whole bunch of new people. Platinum Games has 100... no, I think it's 1,000 employees? Shit, I don't know. They should downsize, because, there's a reason Platinum wasn't doing great there financially for a while. They have way too many people. But anyway, start originally, the core Platinum members were mostly, again, you say all, there's no way of, quantifying every single member. But the core members of Platinum were all ex-Capcom devs. Because all of those people worked at Capcom, working alongside guys like Shinji Mikami, working on classic games like Resident Evil, and Devil May Cry was Hideki Kamiya's flagship intellectual property that he created after directing Resident Evil 2. So, you had this rockstar group of developers within Capcom responsible for some of their, dynastic properties. Pretty much aside from Mega Man, the guys that they gave their own studio to, that became Clover Studios, were responsible for a lot of the mythology that Capcom had as a company at that point in the games industry. So they said, hey, y'all doing pretty good over there, make your own studio. Internally within Capcom, there's going to be a whole room dedicated to your studio, Clover Studios. Clover Studios was the studio inside of Capcom's building that all of the guys who worked on those old games were given, and they were basically given free reign. No oversight, they could make whatever they want. So Clover Studios are the guys responsible for games like this, for Beautiful Joe, for God Hand. They took that free license to make whatever they want and kind of went nuts with it. And made a lot of not very marketably friendly games, unfortunately, which is part of what led to the decline and the downfall of Clover Studios and Capcom as a whole. It's not necessarily their fault. It's a big part of the blame lies in really bad timing. Clover Studio, like, man, the fact that that happened at all, the fact that Capcom took, like, recognized the achievements of some of their best employees and gave them a fucking, like, second-party studio inside of Capcom to just go nuts and make whatever they want, that should be, like, if that had happened today, like, the sky's the limit. But unfortunately, at the time it was done, like, the timing was just very inconvenient because that was the mid-2000s and things were changing. We were in a post-Resident Evil 4 games industry, and the world was starting to change. So, like, I feel like mid-2000s, right before 2007, was the point where games really started to hit them, where they hadn't quite blown up in the mainstream yet, but they wanted to. Like, it was right on the cusp, right on the knife's edge of becoming a mainstream thing, of having mainstream accessibility, and everyone knew it, and they wanted it. They wanted it really bad. So the games that got propped up and recognized and consumed and became successful were games that were like gateway, mainstream-friendly games. And niche titles like the stuff that Clover Studios made, like Beautiful Joe, like God Hand, like Okami, like God Hand. God Hand is infamous for getting really bad reviews when it came out. IGN, that 3.5 review on IGN stands to this day. And I make a pilgrimage to the God Hand review on IGN, like, every year, just to remind myself that fucking game journalists are the worst, and they are to blame for the state of the industry. So games like this, like, marketing didn't know what to do with these fucking games. Who the hell do you sell these games to? The idea of doubling down on a hardcore niche audience really wasn't a thing yet. Again, because they were, like, really bullet train arriving at the station of mainstream accessibility and success. And the audience that was there was kind of at that, like, I'm generalizing a lot, obviously, but they were kind of at that phase of, like, insecurity where they, like, the people who did buy these games adored them and appreciated them for what they were, and felt lucky to have them. But the vast majority of people kind of went like, oh, we want games to be taken seriously, we want games to be accepted, so we're only gonna, like, it's like when a kid wants to be seen as mature, so he starts doing stuff that, oh shit, I forgot about, yeah, here's the mini game. I'll get into that later. So we started buying games that for like fucking 25 to life. Like those kind of like edgy, quote-unquote realistic, quote-unquote like juvenile mature games. And those were the games that got propped up. Those were the games that became successes. And every single game that Clover Studios made fucking bombed. They all bombed. They were all massive flops. It is so fucking depressing in retrospect. And it's terrible because, again, the only reason that happened, like, that is a fairy tale fucking beginning to that story. And it has a tragic ending because of the time and place that it took, that it happened. If Capcom had created Clover Studios today, and if these games had been released now, they would have been sung to the high heavens. they would have been world-destroying successes. They would have been seized upon and upheld as, like, look upon these games, ye mighty, and tremble. Hold on. Yeah! Origin of all that is good and mother to us all. Okami Amaterasu. Okami's a pun, by the way. Why are you, like, that title card might confuse you. Okami is a fucking pun. It's hilarious. It literally means wolf god. So she's wolf god Amaterasu. So it's already been almost 20 minutes, and we haven't gotten to play the game yet. Like I said, this game is really wordy right off the bat. And that's not a bad thing, because it's a really good fucking story. Look at her butt. Look at that. It's a full moon tonight. The storm of evil might be raging, but I can still see the full moon from here. Here's why Amaterasu is one of my favorite protagonists in all of video gaming. And we're about to see why right now. Bitch, you have been talking like I just woke up, and you are boring the shit out of me. That is what that fucking body language says. She's going like, oh dude, exposition, this horrible apocalyptic event. Orochi has arisen and demons are ruling the planet. Yawn, bitch. Fucking yawn with that shit. That's... Look at... She is fucking asleep! Amy is not paying attention to what is happening. She doesn't care. You know what Amy is doing? That is the dog version of pressing the X button to get this fucking talking sequence over with. She wants this fucking exposition cutscene to end just as badly as we do. Oh, and things are about to get awesome, though. Because the real hero of this game has just appeared. Microphilia! Now Amy's interested. What the fuck is going on now? This didn't happen last time. That's what she's saying. That's what her face is doing. Like, what the fuck is this? See, Eason also was fucking bored by what was going on. Spoiler, his name's Eason. Wandering artist, Eason. So yeah, like, that title card that Amy got, I try to call her Ami, but Amy is like so much more natural to flow off the tongue. That title card might have been a little confusing for Ami, because it's like Okami Amaterasu, and you're like, what? But that's because we're Western English-speaking audiences, and we don't get it. That's why it's hilarious, because, again, Clover Studios just did whatever the fuck they wanted, and they were real... That's a good drawing. The joke is that her boobs and her butt look like a peach. And she's like a Sakura tree goddess, a peach tree goddess. So the symbols of fertility, bosom and butt, look like peaches. That's why it's funny. That's not why it's funny, that's just... yeah, that's gonna happen a couple times throughout the game, by the way. Oh, just you wait. Oh my god, there's like... How many? I think there's like 3 Vor levels in this game. Holy shit. Ami's always, like, shoving Eason in her mouth. There's 3 Vor levels. Oh my god. Anyway, okay. I can't fall down into that rabbit hole right now. There's a lot to discuss about what's happening. Yeah! Denkomaru. Yeah, look at her chest. It's a peach. Get it? Because she's a peach tree. What a great little detail, right? Like, it's not just fan service. Like, it serves a function. That's why it's great. Only your awesome power! Sakuya. The fact that you can't... Oh, you can skip it. I'm not gonna skip it. That's terrible. But that you can't, like, you can't speed through it is kind of annoying. Again, it makes sense. It's not a bad thing. It's really well written and funny. And it's like, that's what... It's the Zelda convention. If you play Ocarina of Time, it similarly has a pretty long, unskippable intro. Oh man, this game looks fucking amazing. Dude, it looks so fucking crisp and wonderful. Oh. Man, I forget the timing. You gotta, it's like, it's a timing-based minigame. Yeah, this is Tutorial Island in here. Oh, no, what is this? No, hold on. Hold on. I gotta fix that. I believe... Nope. No, wait. Okay, I gotta do both. Why are they inverted? That's so weird. That's better. Okay. Always bugs the shit out of me when games invert the camera controls like that. Save points. So, Clover Studios basically did whatever they wanted, and they were pretty internationally focused in their view of the games they made. So that's why, like, Okami is a game that they kind of basically made for a Japanese audience. And that's why, like, so much of this game is based around Japanese mythology. Like, nothing in this game is an original idea born whole and pure from the mind of its creators. Everything. Can I increase the, no? What does that do, by the way? I've never fucked with that before. I don't know what the filter is. I'll just leave it normal. Everything in this game is from Japanese mythology. You can basically think of Okami as an adaptation of those stories, of the fairy tales, all throughout Japanese mythology. Every single character in this game is not necessarily from Japanese mythology, but from a fictional story that originates in Japan. I see that. There's like 2 or 3 things that aren't Japanese mythology because they're references to other Capcom games, which is really cute and funny. But, like, 99.98% of everything in this game is an adaptation of a story from Japanese mythology. So, unless you're really into Japanese mythology, you're not gonna get it. You're not gonna get it. Like, when this game came out in the West, we played it, and we're like, what? Like, why is he a bug? Why? The joke is that he's Navi. Get it? he's the fairy companion that Link gets nabbed, but he has way more personality and is a boy, whereas Amaterasu's a girl, just like Link was a boy. Anyway, like, there's a lot of layers. Everything in this game has a lot of layers to it, but Isun is a character from Japanese mythology, where there was a bug. There was like a boy who... Was he born from a... What am I thinking of? I want to say he was born from a peach, but I don't think that's right. Alright, there was this... And he really was. He was like the size of a bug, and he went on all these adventures, and it was a cool thing. So, you're the Japanese audience playing this game, and you've been growing up with those fairy tales your entire life. Like, just like how we grew up with Tom Thumb, they grew up with Isun. Again, that's a generalization, but those were the stories in mythology that existed, that they had access to, that were part of their culture, that were readily available, and you could see those being stories that you would read to your kid, like, as a bedtime story. So they would jump into this and be like, oh shit, it's Isun. Oh shit, it's Little Peach Boy. Oh shit, it's the Dog Warriors, and all these other cool little chapters in this game, or the Bamboo Girl, which are little references and wholesale adaptations of the story itself from Japanese mythology. And again, totally impenetrable to a Western audience, unless you're in the know, right? And you're probably not going to be in the know, especially before the explosion of the internet back when this game first came out on the PS1. So, in a very real way, this game was made for a Japanese audience, right down to the title. And again, the title is a fucking pun, which makes it amazing to me. It's hilarious. Because, like, Kami, Mother Amaterasu. No, you gotta say the whole thing. Origin of all that is good and mother to us all. All of these names are puns, by the way. Yomi Gami. They all have Gami. But, like, the first part of their name's a fucking pun. Like, Kami means God. So, Kami, the god Amaterasu. But Okami is wolf. And then, ooh, the way Okami is said, where it's elongated ooh sound, means, like, artist? So it's, like, the title is literally Wolf God, and it references the fact that a major gameplay mechanic in this game is utilizing mystical brush techniques. So it's like, how would you adapt that title? Like, wandering, like majestic, divine artist wolf? It's such an... you can't translate it. It's one of those things you literally cannot translate it. You just have to go, okay, it's called fucking Okami, right? In a very real way, it almost feels like the localizers who were probably put in charge of bringing this game over to the West probably just gave up. They probably just went like, fuck it. Just don't even fucking bother trying. Just, like, make it so that it's not gibberish, but basically just put it through fucking Google Translate. Just put that shit through Babelfish, and just throw it out there. Isun, there's no translation for that. That's just the man's name. Just put it in there. Sakuya, there's no translating that. It's just her name. Put it in there. Mr. Orange, he's just Mr. Orange. Okami, Amaterasu, you can't translate that. Fucking just put it in there. It almost makes me wonder if, like, an alternate universe where like 4Kids, or a more game-relevant example would be the guys who localized Phoenix Wright. Imagine if the guys who localized the Phoenix Wright games tried to localize Okami. Holy shit. Eat your hamburgers, Amy. Oh man, that amuses me way more than it should. So like that, like there's that. Memento. Yeah. You're pretty slow on the uptake, aren't you, Ethan? This game also fucking benefits a lot from a repeat playthrough, by the way. Okay, so this item is literally a belly. I just need that. I need you to read between the lines here. It's a belly. It's literally a stomach. It's in our inventory now. Where is it? Right here? The astral pouch. Look at how it's shaped. It's just and it fills up when you eat excess food. It's a belly. I'm just putting that out there. So that was Okami. A game that, when you think about it, is kind of fucking unmarketable in the West. And exists outside of the scope of our fucking understanding in a very real way at that point in time. Thankfully, the internet has obliterated the barriers between cultural differences and just opened the doors to exchange of that nature, thankfully. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. God damn it. I need to, like, re-teach myself the timing. That's gonna fuck me up. Do you notice that the loading screens are different now because we have Eason? Interesting. Anyway. But then they turn around and they make Beautiful Joe, which is a game where the title is also a pun. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. I know it seems kind of weird and patronizing that I'm going into detail explaining the pun behind beautiful as a word, but that's purely for the English-speaking audience's benefit. Because in Japanese, there is no there is no distinction between the letters V and B. So they look at that title and they see the same thing that we do when we look at Okami. It doesn't make sense. So they just go, okay, whatever, it's a weird title. Like, the joke is completely lost on them. Beautiful Joe is a game that was made for the Western audience in complete exclusion of the Japanese audience. I would go into further detail about that, but they're probably never going to HD re-release that. God, how cool would that be? How fucking cool. If Capcom wants to turn themselves around and be revered as, like, god tier fucking game studio again, re-release fucking Beautiful Joe as an HD collection. That would be amazing. I would be very happy about that. And then there's God Hand, which is just complete insanity. That game's like a Mad Max game. It's fucking great, but much less exemplative of the stuff I'm talking about here. And again, like, that's why it's so depressing looking back on what happened to Clover Studios. Because what a cool thing that Capcom did. What a cool thing that happened for all of the people involved that just blew up in their faces because of wrong place, wrong time. This is one of the best games ever made, and it just came out at the wrong time. Again, if this game had been like the industry that we have today is thankfully a much better place, but it's all in a more relevant description. It's much more accommodating and celebratory. What's the word I'm looking for? There's room for it, you know? At the time this game came out, there wasn't room for a game like this. But now, like, fucking anyone can make a game. Like, the barrier to entry has never been lower. If you have access to the internet and a computer, in that order, then you can make a video game. You don't even have to own a computer, as long as you have access to a computer. As long as you can go into a library and use one of their public computers, and it has an internet connection, you can make a game. Because there's game software out there that you can just download, and it's free. You can just download free game software and just fucking start learning how to make a game. Hopefully, in that scenario, you would also have enough technical know-how to know how to hide your files so that your progress doesn't get fucking deleted by librarians or something like that. But, like, at this point, the only barrier that exists to you, anyone out there in the world making a video game, is your own patience. The patience to learn how to do it. Because, like anything, it fucking takes practice and persistence. And the avenues of getting your game out there and recognized. There's like 20 different fucking websites just for uploading your indie games. Off the top of my head, there's Steam, which has a greenlight program, so you can get your game out there to a wider audience and make money off of it. Good Old Games also. But, like, if you just want to make a game and put it out there for people to fucking play it, like, there's Game Jolt, Ichgo, what's that? I don't know how to fucking pronounce it. Like, you can make a game, put it out there, and it will be played and recognized and could become successful. That game Lisa the Hopeless? Lisa the Beautiful? Something like that. I never played it, but it started out as an indie game some guy just fucking made and put on Game Jolt, and it became a really huge fucking success story. Alongside fucking Undertale, and games like Cave Story, and etc. And like there's so much awareness, the audience is so wide, and the accessibility is so open to anyone that if you put if you make the game, your audience will find you. So imagine the kind of success that a game like Okami would have had if it had been released in today's industry compared to the industry it was actually released in, and how well it did during that point in time, unfortunately. So here's the part where, hey look, we're playing a platinum game comes in. Yeah! Fucking you up. Give me that. So we have like the fucking bare bonesiest, like, zero combat moves ever. Here's your scoring screen. You know how Platinum puts theirself in all their games? You know how the best rank you can get in Bayonetta is a pure Platinum? the best rank you can get in Okami is a blooming cherry tree because they're Clover Studio. Oh my god, no. Ah. Oh shit. I gotta find one of those clovers. Oh my god. If you think Platinum puts themselves in all their games now, that tradition got started early. I'm just saying. One of... I'll wait till we find it. Yeah, again, pure Platinum, basically. Although, again, much... Like, this game is not, like, a super hardcore, like, skill-demanding thing. The skill floor for this game is actually very low. The skill ceiling... Damn it, I gotta get used to that again. The skill ceiling is very high, but the skill floor is very, very low. And I remember Hideki Kamiya actually made a tweet somewhere where he was like, folklore shouldn't be difficult to read. Right? Like, his mentality is like, this game isn't... It seems really fucked up to say, like, just a game, and I hate when people say that. But it's not just a video game that he made, it's a adaptation of Japanese folklore. So, you know, he has... It kind of does take on another level of respectful treatment beyond, like... In the same way you would say, like... Yes! Fucking A! Did it! Okay, I'm in. It takes me a second to fucking, like, rewire my brain. Hold on, this is the most beautiful thing I've ever seen in my life. Yeah. Oh, man. This game just makes me feel happy. Yeah, I can totally, like, for sure, this isn't the Wii version. They put, there's a lazy way and like a give a shit way to port a game, and they did not take the lazy way out with this port. They took the work. They actually got the PS2 version and ported it. They didn't just lazily take the PS3 version, which was the most recent version that had been ported, and just fucking throw that into the 1080p machine and pump it out. They actually put the work in. This is the PS2 version ported up to 1080p and put on next-gen consoles. So not quite as pure, pristine, and beautiful as we could be quite yet. You can really tell. But anyway, like, in the same way you would say, like, the right kind of person would say, like, The Passion of the Christ isn't just a movie. It's not just a piece of media born in the way that pieces of media like this are made. Like games, like movies, like whatever. It's an adaptation of a collection of stories that is culturally significant. Something that a new generation can experience these stories through, especially a new audience who hadn't grown up with these stories. And that's just a really positive mentality, right? So that's why it's like, it would be fucked up if someone wouldn't be able to play Okami and get to experience these quintessential stories of Japanese mythology just because they're not very good at video games, right? Someone who's not very good at video games can play Okami and learn about who the fuck Isun is, and learn about the it's 8 or 13. I want to say 8. Could be 13. The Dog Warriors can learn about the various gods. What's the other one? about the Sea King's palace underwater and shit. It's a lot of interesting shit. A fucking kid could play this game, and instead of being like, "Oh, this is so hard, I can't get the pure platinum ranking. It's really difficult." Like, as you would say, especially about God Hand or even Beautiful Joe, which was a pretty challenging game, or Bayonetta. Like, this is a really fucking accessible game. But you can still fucking tell it was made by Platinum, or pre-Platinum Clover Studios. Well, in this story, we're playing as Amaterasu. Do you know who Amaterasu is? Goddess of the sun. Yeah, in a lot of mythology or different cultures out there, the sun's a big fucking deal. If you're the god of the sun, you're probably one of the most important gods in the pantheon, if not the most important. Amaterasu's kind of a big fucking deal in the Shinto mythology. I feel like that's a pretty nice, relevant comparison, Isan. Thanks for that. Celestial Brush. So that's the main gameplay gimmick of this game, is we use the Celestial Brush. Ami. Again, Amaterasu, so it should be pronounced Ami. But, you know, it's hard not to just say Amy. Oh man, so someone did this great comic where someone tweeted at Hideki Kamiya where he was like, what if Dante, Bayonetta, Amaterasu, and Joe from Beautiful Joe got in a fight, and Hideki Kamiya was like, they would all just be distracted by how adorable Amaterasu is, and someone fucking drew that. It was really great. Yeah. Once again, no one in this game is just thrown in there. Mr. Orange. Like, they're adapted differently, like the Peach Boy Momoko? Monoko. It's hard to remember the names, but the Peach Boy is in this game, and he's from a story in Japanese mythology, but he's implemented in the story of the game very differently. This is one of my favorite things about this game, if I can be honest. Look at her sitting down, she's like, yeah. And this is what she looks like to normal people. Normal people can't see the godly markings. They just see a regular white wolf. That's not the part I was talking about. That's not the thing about this game that I love that I was talking about, by the way. And I just realized that could have been misconstrued. You fool, she ain't growling at you. Look at these bad mamma jammas. Lumen being dicks. Watch this shit, it's the best. Once again, you can tell who fucking made this game just by playing it. Amaterasu's once again, I point out, Amaterasu is one of the best game protagonists I've ever seen. Yeah! Make sure you get the orange back on top of his head there. Aw, man, it's hard going back to what you start out with at the beginning of the game. Only having the basic 3-hit combo and not being able to dodge roll. Luckily, again, well, these are fucking Goombas. But still, the game ain't that hard. Yay. You really get aggressive when you're mad. That's what, like, fuck, Amaterasu in this game has more personality in her body language than a lot of video game protagonists do in fucking pages worth of dialogue. Divine intervention. Amaterasu is literally a god walking around on the earth, which in Japanese mythology isn't, like, an uncommon feat by any means, but literally, she's going around solving problems and brightening up people's days. It's divine intervention. What if God was one of us? What if God was an adorable white wolf going around feeding little birds and bringing little pet bunny rabbits back to their owners? If not the gods themselves, that's gonna make them have a little bit more faith. And like all good gods, she is powered by faith. So that's the level up mechanic. We accumulate karma, people's belief in the divine intervention we have just transposed onto their lives, and then we can level the fuck up. Anyway, let's go ahead and pop this. Yeah, I just mentioned feeding birds. We're literally about to do that. Hey, this is animal food. She's a wolf. You fucking idiot. Blah, blah, blah. Let me find the birds. Let me feed the burbs. I must feed the burbs. Here we go. Are you ready? Are you ready for feeding the burbs? Hey. Hey, burbs. Come back! There we go. Okay, you ready for the best music ever? Isn't that just the best fucking music? You don't have to sit through that every time, but I do love that fucking music, so sometimes I do. Hey look, yay, now the burbs are happy. They got little hearts. Hearts from their bellies. Anyway. And we got some literally feeding the birds gave us some EXP to level up with. That's an act of divine intervention. A god came down from the heavens. Or as a statue, I guess. And fed those birds. Man, you can really see the differences between this and the PS3 release. Come here. Come here. Yes! This burb! I have bited you! You're mine now! You belong to me! Anyway. Aw, man, we're not gonna get to the Sparrow Sanctuary, but that also has a really great moment that I fucking love. Usually about, like, it happens, but Japanese mythology has examples of that thing way more often. Anyway, so the thing that this game does, or alludes to, like again, it's all about the little things. That's what gets to me. I've pointed this out many times before. The thing that gets me is the little things. And this is a big little thing for me. A white wolf. Now that's a rare sight. I want you to actually sit down and think about this. Imagine you're chilling out in your village, in your little Japanese village, and a fucking wolf-ass wolf just strolls into town. Doesn't make trouble, but just strolls into town and starts walking into people's houses and barking at people and coming up to them and sniffing at them and stuff. Like, it's not rabid, it's not growling and baring its fangs, and it's not trying to eat your baby, but it's still a wolf. That's still a fucking wolf walking around in your fucking burg. How would you respond to that? What would your reaction to a wolf-ass wolf just walking down the street, just walking into your house? What would your reaction to that be? Did you come down from the mountains just to play with us? There's a line she also says later where it's like, hey Snowy, you hear patrolling your territory? Like, oh my god, that's so fucking weird when you actually think about it, but I love that so much. Shut up, Ethan. And riding a wolf, are we? This one's it. Like, they see a wolf walking around that's like, hey bro, what up? Welcome to our house. Welcome to our fucking place, wolf. What up? That's awesome! I love that shit. Just be like, yeah, what up? That's fine. Whatever. Hold on, I gotta do this side quest real quick. Ah, fucked it up. There we go. Yeah, there's a wide application to using the celestial brush techniques. Time to dry the laundry. The sun. It seems so far away. If only the sun would shine a little bit closer. Well, that's irresponsible solar manipulation, and is probably going to cause unforeseen consequences. But just for you, Granny, we'll bring the sun a little bit closer. Yay! And Amaterasu is the goddess of the sun. Come back tonight to have some cherry cakes, wolf. This fucking bitch is inviting a wolf into her house, a wild animal, to feed it cherry cakes. That's not okay. You shouldn't do that. Don't teach your kids to do that. Aw, yeah! She's petting us. Aw, yeah, bitch, you know you love pet me. Whoa, what a fine-looking wolf. What's your name? A fucking wild animal-ass wolf just walked up to her while she's tending to her rice fields. And her reaction to this is, wow, what a sexy-ass wolf. What's your name? It's a pleasure to meet you, wolf. You see, that's the shit I love. And again, that's not exclusive. That's not exclusive to Japanese mythology, but you see that in Japanese mythology a lot. Like, animals walking around get kinda anthropomorphized. They get treated as, like, in stories, not in real life, but in the stories, you can easily find examples of that all over the place. And I fucking love that shit. Like, that just tickles me to my core, and I actually mentioned this in my Sonic Heroes video as a frame of reference. Here you go, now you get what I was referencing. I gotta tie it all back into Sonic. That's how I feel like human beings respond to Sonic and company. They're just animal-ass animals. There's nothing differentiating or unique about them. The difference between Sonic and a fucking, like, four-legged house cat is the same as the difference that we see between a house cat and a hedgehog just walking around being adorable in our world. To them, they just see an animal. But like in Okami, they see an animal walking around in the city wearing clothes and going grocery shopping, and they go, "Oh yeah, hey animal, go here to do some grocery shopping? That's awesome." Yeah, that's the explanation for why you can initiate dialogue to people. Being a god, you can actually tell when to talk. They just kind of feel compelled to talk to her because she's a god, basically. Ah, man, it's not gonna happen, but here's a shopkeeper up here. This is gonna trigger a cutscene I don't want to make happen right now. But this shopkeeper will be like, once he sets up shop, he'll be like, "Oh, hey, Poochie, did your master send you to do some shopping?" Like, okay, this dog has some fucking money. Yeah, you could, I'll sell some products to this dog. That's fine. That makes sense in my mind. Oh, this pink hedgehog came into the grocery store to buy some groceries. Yeah, that's whatever. Pink hedgehogs, that happens. You know. I know how that do. Aw, she gives you pets every single fucking time. It's the best. I should think. He's always on his own. Sounds like a cool loner badass guy to me. Hold on, let me help you harvest your fields. Hope you don't mind me eating this bale of rice whole. That's healthy. So I talked about, like, one of the primary reasons I say Amaterasu here is one of the best game protagonists is because of her body language. And she just has a really fun sense of personality inherent with how she reacts to story scenes. And when people interact with her as part of cutscenes. Give me that. You get an upgrade later that, like, attracts money and food items to you. I actually, normally, there's side quest. Hey, what up, buddy? Hey, what up? There is a bark like a dog button, by the way, in this game where you play as a dog. I can bark with me if you are my dog. Come here, little buddy. Come on. Oh, no. Give you to old buddy. There's a bunch of side quests, but I actually should continue forth here. I'm not getting the necessary dialogue to make this make sense, but let's just go ahead and fix this right now. Just because I'm a cool guy like that. Now she can make the sake, and we need the sake for something later. Polishing the rice. Also notice her hair is shaped like a comb. That's because her name's a pun, because puns are really fun in Japanese. This kid has a fucking dragonfly tied by a string, and I just think that's the coolest shit ever, by the way. Look at how cool that shit is. Something you can read into with the way Amaterasu interacts with people is, for the most part, she's usually really fucking bored and fed up with people's bullshit. Just like at the beginning of the game where Sakia was like, "Oh shit, shit's bad, guys," and Amaterasu was fucking like, "Yawn, boring, shut up, I don't care," right? And that happens a lot throughout the game. There's also other circumstances where she reacts differently. But what I'm trying to lead up to is, based on the way she like, responds during story sequences, and certain revelations that happen later in the game, you can tell Amaterasu already knows what's going to happen. Because she's already been through it before. Like, she's already been through this story. She knows what's going to happen, and she knows, in a vague general sense, what everyone's gonna say. Because she's heard that shit before. Because she's on New Game Plus. Amaterasu is a video game protagonist who is on New Game Plus. And again, like, that's not obvious right from the get-go. That's something you kind of realize on a second playthrough when you're playing on New Game Plus, because this game has a New Game Plus. So you play the game on New Game Plus, and you realize suddenly that a lot of the things that Ami was doing that kind of didn't make sense the first time through suddenly make a lot more sense now, framed from the context of this is the second time you're playing the game. This is the second time you're going through the story. Just like it is for Ami. And again, that's subtle. That's not thrown in your face. That's not specifically explained. But that's totally what's going on. And it's awesome. Again, that's one of the big aspects about Ami's character that really is like, fuck you. That's really like, dude, Amaterasu kicks ass. She's the best character. Aw, you bitch. How dare you do this to me? There we go. Give me that. Oh man, it's so hard going back when you're used to being all decked out. Oh, give me that money. I'm used to having items that attract the collectibles to you also. Yeah. So, like, man, there's so much in this game, and you could literally spend a long... You sure look excited. You could spend a long-ass time, like, breaking down all of the things about Okami that make it such a fucking delightful game. Like, there's a lot of... Again, like, everything has layers. Like, again, Isun is a character from Japanese mythology, but he's also your fairy companion just like Navi, because a lot of this game's design is drawn from Legend of Zelda. You could almost think of it as like Legend of Zelda, but reskinned in like a Japanese mythology setting, and instead of being Twilight Wolf Link, you're Amaterasu, Wolf God. Okay, yeah, not yet. So, like, you could actually break down every part of this game by multiple fucking layers. By, like, face value, by, like, a meta joke, what it means in its relation to Japanese mythology. Lots of hidden stuff like this. It's a really great fucking, like, it's a great video game, and there's a lot you could spend time analyzing. But, you know, there's only so much we can get to. And lordy, is this not a game you want to try and do a full playthrough of? Like, for a video, just for life. God damn. This game has, like, again, It's not something we're gonna get to, obviously, but this game, like, you beat this game, you get to the ending of this game. You fight the final boss, and there is an ending. And then the game just keeps going. Like, you haven't finished the game yet. Like, you keep playing. There's a whole second half of the game after that. And then you fight another final boss, and you get another ending. And then the game just keeps going again. This game has like 5 final bosses. I'm not convinced. I am not convinced that anyone has ever actually finished Okami. This game is fucking so long. Look at Ami. Notice the body language difference from when Sakuya was talking to her at the beginning, where she was literally yawning and falling asleep, to now Susanoo was talking to her, and her tail, she is sitting attentively and paying attention, and her tail is wagging. She is fucking excited. She is like, yo. Like, she's hanging on every fucking word, and Susanoo's just being a dick. And I look at her face, she's like, what? Her tail stopped wagging. Think about, like, you can tell what's going through her head based on her body language. and the fact that Isun is the one who's doing all the talking could kind of lead you astray, because Isun doesn't know shit. Like, he actively knows less than you, the player, does. He's kind of an idiot. Whereas Amaterasu knows the score. She knows what's going on. She knows more than anyone else in the game. And again, that's not super apparent right off the bat, but you can tell in retrospect, based on foreknowledge of what you learn, like, after having beaten the game, allegedly. And then looking back, you know what's going through Amaterasu's head purely based on her body language at any given time, if you're really paying attention. And we're getting, like, my favorite example of that is coming up, and that's where I'm gonna end the video. Yeah, this is something we need the, this is why we needed to fix the, what's that called? Watermill? Wheelbarrow? What's that? That has a name. I forget what it is. He's out of sake, so he needs more sake before he's gonna get off his ass. Why do today what can be put off till tomorrow? So we had to fix the mill so that she can make the sake. There's a lot of fun little puzzles like that throughout the game. This is the first and thus most obvious and easy one to figure out. Again, this game is so fucking long. You have no idea. Vista of the Gods. Okay, her hair is shaped like a brush. That's a pun because of her name. Her name is Kushi. And her hair is a brush. It's really funny. Everything in this game is fucking hilarious. There we go. Damn it! Like, right when I get the timing. Oh man, that's one disadvantage. The fact that this is on next-gen hardware and not running on a disc. These loading times are gonna be too short. That's not good. That's true. Okay, here's the big cool moment. Okay, we gotta help him out. Or are we? That's the interesting thing about this scene. It feels like what's happening is, oh, he's just swinging his sword around, and it's a big stupid wooden sword, so he's not doing anything, and Amaterasu is the one doing everything by using the celestial brush technique to swipe the boulder and actually break it down. And Susanoo didn't do shit. But exploding implosion. That's hilarious. Again, look at... Wait, is it this scene? Oh man, I remember it being this scene. It might not be this one. No, it's the bear! Shit! Okay, I'm gonna have to do some editing here. Look at Ami! Look at Ami in the background. She's so fucking great. I'm gonna have to do some editing here because the moment I'm thinking of is a little bit later. It's still very close, but I want to end the video on that note. This still does have some good little detail with her looking up at him like this. Look at her butt! Look at her peach butt! That is a peach butt, right there. And her peach boobs. Get it? Stop jumping on my nose. How rude. Oh, fuck. Again, it's hard to, like, that we're an hour into, like, a fucking 40-hour game. This game is so fucking long. So it can be hard to appreciate, but rest assured. Once again. Oh, I love Amaterasu so much. She's the fucking best. Bitch. Oh, she is just the best. I've already heard all this. I don't care. I can't make the dialogue go faster. I'm tapping the button, but your fucking dialogue just fills in so slowly. Ami's the fucking best protagonist. Yawn, don't care. I'm sleeping through your exposition. Oh gosh. This game's so great. And fucking dead. Not really, but she's lost her ability to project herself as a ghost, at least. What could possibly go wrong? And I'll steal and learn them. Ah, you're such a noble, relatable protagonist, Ethan. Hey! Okay, I shall... Oh, here we go! Yay! Guess I better offload some stock. Been sent to do some shopping, have you, pup? Isn't that just the best? Isn't that just the best thing? Ah, this fucking pink hedgehog in a red dress came to the grocery store to do some shopping. Yeah, whatever. Give me the money. Here's your groceries. Okay, bye, wild animal. Oh, I love that shit. Anyway, editing magic. Because I want to get that moment on screen. Once again, Susanoo is in the room. Ami is like, oh shit, what up? It's that boy. Her tail is up and wagging. She's like, yeah, bro, what up? Yeah, I'm in it. I'm all about it. Excuse me? Hey, what's your deal, dude? What's with that? What's your problem, Susanoo? Kinda skipping through this just because I want to get to the scene that I want to show. How'd I do that? So again, it doesn't make a lot of sense on the first playthrough, but given information you get later, the reason Ami is like, yo, Susanoo, you're a cool dude, tail is wagging whenever she's around him, makes a lot of sense. As do some of the, again, fun, subtle little bits of body language she has whenever he sort of fails to live up to her expectations, shall we say. Here it is, by the way. It's a sleepy bar. Look at her face. Again, you can read so much into that. Anyway. Sleepy burr. Enough talk. My blade thirsts for blood. Susanoo style Susanoo. Sue. Sa. No. Trying to translate Japanese kanji letters into English does not work out very well. Exploding implosion is fucking hilarious, though. Aw, big guy. Okay, here's the big moment that I was talking about. You fucking serious, bro? That's the moment where she's like, Nagi, what's your fucking deal? Right? That's the moment where she's like, what happened to you, man? Like, You're supposed to be a cool guy. We fought Orochi together. We fucking saved the world. You were a cool hero, dude. That's her face. What? He is not the man that I remember. Anyway. Yeah. So that's the spot I wanted to end it on. So once again, that's Okami. I would consider this game Platinum's magnum opus. I know technically you could say Platinum and Clover Studios are two different things, right? I mean, again, Platinum Studios has so many different people working at it now. It's a different entity for sure, but the core people were still... Yeah, I don't see the advantage to this whatsoever. What is to be gained from having that much negative space on the screen? It's so weird to me that to some people that's like the recommended method. But anyway, I know technically they're a different entity and you might say like that's not fair, but to me this is Platinum Games' magnum opus. The people who made this game and the people who are making the games Platinum's making now, those are the same people by and large at the core. Like, not all of them. They have a lot more people over there, but you know what I mean. So to me, this is the pinnacle. This is the magnum opus for that group of developers, I will say. And like, I'm super happy Bayonetta 3 got announced. I'm super happy that they got to help make Star Fox Zero, and I hope that they will have hands-on in the next Star Fox thing. Like, Platinum is in good with Nintendo right now, which is really interesting to me, and I really hope it ends positively compared to how their relationship has gone with other AAA entities like that before. And like, I'm happy that Bayonetta 3's a thing, and that's gonna happen. I'm hoping Wonderful 101 2 is gonna happen. Like, the future is they helped make Nier Automata, which was a huge deal for them. Like, I'm glad things are going great for Platinum right now. I really hope they take the chance to make a game like Okami again someday. Someday soon. Because holy shit, look at this game. Not Okami 2, but like a game like Okami again. Like a Zelda-style RPG that's like mythology. Like, again, not like that, but like in the same spirit and like design mentality that Okami was made in. That still has the Platinum touch. Because look at what's on screen right now. You can tell it's got the Platinum touch. That's what you love about them. Those guys. Like, more than anything, that's what I hope to see from that group of developers again. But until then, it's great that Capcom's turning around and brought this back. Because I fucking love this game. And I love you all. Thank you guys for watching.